How's it going, everyone? Jack Willard here with a relatively short video. Santa is not Bob Joyce. Rash of wild statements being made these days on TikTok, here on YouTube, and I assume other places. And I think we need to address a few things. I've always said I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about a particular thing. I could be wrong about everything. You can't say something as fact if you don't have proof to back it up. You can say this is a strong possibility, perhaps, but you have to be careful. You have to be responsible. So you saw Santa there in our thumbnail. Here he is again. Look into his eyes. Look into his eyes. That's not Bob Joyce. He's wearing the TCB ring, taking care of business, that Elvis wore, and he was said to have been buried wearing that ring in August of 1977 at Graceland. Well, I don't think Elvis was buried wearing that ring because I don't think Elvis died in August of 1977. I think there's a good chance he's still alive in 2024. The ring, the TCB ring, could be copied by someone who does costume jewelry fairly easily. And I would be very surprised if it's not out there already. So Santa wearing that ring is not definitive, although if that Santa really was at Graceland, someone like Riley could have lent him the ring. Who knows? Who knows? We don't know for sure. Obviously, there have been sightings of someone who looks like Pastor Bob Joyce at Graceland. We've talked about that. We've shown the pictures here either on our live shows, which often air on Saturday nights, Worldwide Ramblings, and on some of our pre-recorded videos as well. Often, he is confused with the gardener, who also has the Kenny Rogers look. But you can clearly see the gardener is not Bob Joyce. People have said, oh, I went to Graceland and in the distance I saw Bob Joyce raking leaves. No, you didn't. So this is the kind of thing that's out there. Another statement that was made in one of those short videos hosted by that very familiar voice, the statement was made that Elvis and Priscilla were seen at an Italian villa, and they don't give any proof to that. They just say it as fact. Now, we have done a couple of videos where we show this photo right here. There was a lot of interest in this. About 50% of the audience at the time felt it was photoshopped. The other 50% thought it was real. The first thing we notice is that Priscilla Presley is taller than she really is in this photo, and that her thighs are much bigger. She's a very tiny, petite woman, so there is that. But when I talked to a famous photographer, you can guess who that might be, he told me about lens distortion. These people are walking. Keep that in mind. They're not posing. They're walking, and that can That can make thighs look bigger than they are, make a person look taller than they really are. So whether this is photoshopped or real, I do not know. These are the kind of things that we present when we get them, and then we kind of leave it up in the air because we don't want to state something as fact when we really don't know. That's irresponsible. So there's all kinds of stories. There's a picture that we have shown. I tried to find it. We'll get it for you. Again, we've shown it many times before. It appears to be a room at Graceland, and they are looking out a window. Who are they? It appears to be Pastor Bob Joyce with a cane or a walking stick, and Priscilla Presley looking out a window that has a see-through curtain on it. It looks to be them. It looks to be them, but we don't know for sure. Their back is to the camera. And so they are saying that's part of the Italian villa visit that they had. And the feeling I got is that could have been taken right after the private funeral of Lisa Marie Presley, which perhaps they both attended. One of our most successful videos here poses the question, did Bob Joyce preach Lisa Marie's funeral? A lot of people have seen that. Not long after Lisa Marie's tragic passing, one of my sources sent me a picture in an email of what is claimed to be Lisa Marie's funeral service booklet. And I was stunned to see that the person who officiated the private funeral and gave the eulogy is listed as Pastor Bob Joyce. Austin Butler, just like he was at the public memorial, sang a song at the beginning and a song at the end. Tom Presley, that's a whole other subject, he sang at the funeral as well. So I was given, and this is very small, you can't really see it properly, and this is like a special edition, they put Lisa Marie into it. But when I was handed this, I just got the feeling that this was a bridge too far, that I didn't want to put this out there. After all, we are talking about a father losing his cherished daughter, and I didn't feel good about it. So I held it. That hurt me because it would have probably been a big video for me if I put it out right away. Now, eventually, other people started to get that funeral card, and then the point was moot, and then I put it up and started to talk about it. Of course, something like that could be faked. It could be faked, just like the picture of Bob and Priscilla could be photoshopped. That could easily be faked. It could be faked. Another picture that is talked about in recent videos that we talked about a while ago supposedly is from August 2019 in the late Vernon Presley's backyard, which is right next to Graceland. And that certainly looks to be Pastor Bob Joyce. But is it Vernon's backyard? I have no idea. So you have to be careful. You have to be cognizant that you're talking about, a real life human being, a servant of God who loves what he's doing. So when I began talking about this over 6.5 years ago, I said from the very beginning, if the pastor himself should be upset with what I'm doing or some of what I'm doing, all I have to do is hear from him in a video message on Facebook. That way I would know I was actually speaking to Pastor Bob Joyce. If he told me to take the videos down, I would. That call never came. I talked to some people that were in the inner circle. They didn't mention anything about taking the videos down either, but they told me, one specifically told me that there was only one Bob Joyce. Robert Wayne Joyce and Bob Joyce are one in the same. And as we have talked about before, I just don't see that when I look at the actual photos. I see two very distinctive persons. Young Walina Hattie, who married Robert Wayne Joyce in 1975 here. I don't believe that he transformed into the current pastor of Household of Faith. That's my opinion. That's my interpretation. So there are new voices out there, and some to camera now, and they've got a lot of catching up to do. I can tell. One was talking about the thanks button. Well, I'm not asking for money for doing this. Well, there's a thanks button there, so it's there. And then after saying that they weren't looking for people to hit the thanks button, they talked about how you could give. So I don't think we have to pretend that creators are not worthy of tips if people want to give them. It's a voluntary thing. I myself am dealing with a small retirement. I worked 50 years out there in the workforce, often doing lots of overtime, often doing both my main job and a part-time radio DJ gig. So I put in my time. And especially when we do the live shows, Worldwide Ramblings, that's where our core audience is. And they are just wonderful people, and they help me so much. They help me supplement a small retirement. But for the better part of 6 years, I didn't make a cent. The videos weren't monetized. And then all of a sudden, it just started to really take off in a bigger way than it had. And YouTube contacted me and said, you can monetize your videos now. And then later on came the thanks button, what have you. So I'm very grateful to that. I'm very grateful for people that do hit the thanks button. But I always caution, if you're tight, if you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Pay your gas and electric bill. Pay your gas and electric bill before you tip me. But I'm like the video waiter here with a tip button. That's all. One statement was made that when somebody posts something, it's public, period. That's it. Well, that's not exactly true. You don't have the rights to it if somebody posts something. But there is a thing called fair use. If you take snippets, like I'm the chronological storyteller, that's what I do. Sometimes I roll in video with the help of my tech guy and what have you, but more than anything, I'm the chronological storyteller. And that means, even though you try to keep it positive and tell very positive stories about Household of Faith. We have many of my viewers have visited Household of Faith, and they always have a wonderful story to tell. And I like to think that that is very good for the church. We're letting more people know about Pastor Bob, more people from around the world that can tune in and be blessed by his message. So, but you really run a risk when you take somebody else's work and just copy the whole thing like it's yours now and post it. But if they don't mind you doing that, if they consider that promotion for their work, you're safe. But I know with music, you have to be very careful. If you don't have a music license, and even if you do have a music license, it's only going to be for a couple of countries, and other countries are going to want to ban it and what have you. And so I don't roll in music in a live show because it would be censored out in real time. YouTube, who I primarily work for, Google, wants the opportunity to check into the song and see if it's okay for me to use it. Sometimes the ruling will be that you can use it, but you can't monetize this one. And that's always fine for me because I want my audience to hear that song. You know, there's a special meaning and I want them to hear it. Or as this happened when I put up a Pastor Bob song from Safely Home, his great new CD, they said they are willing to share the profits from that. That's very Christian. And so that's how that works. But you can't just put something up without getting permission to do it first. There are many people that are very protective of their work, and they will file a complaint against you. So no, it's not yours once it's made public. That's not how copyright works. But there is that fair use rule that if you are using a portion, as you are telling a story, this is a news story to me, an entertainment news story. Even though we're speaking of a man who I believe is anointed by God to preach the gospel and to sing praises to the Lord. It's still an entertainment story, and fair use, whether it would be just audio or rolling in video, is usually protected. If it's challenged, you usually win because fair use is something that's been in place now for a long time. So there is that. I think anytime any creator, whether it be an AI voice or anonymous voice, we never see the person who's talking, that kind of thing, or someone to camera. You have to really be careful about what you're doing. And I just want to thank my audience and let you know that I'm doing this on a Monday, and a Cat 5 hurricane is potentially going to hit Florida. And we're going to do special late in the evening shows, worldwide rambling shows on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, if you're seeing this video much later than that, you can find those shows in the live section of this channel. After we do a live show, it immediately is available for rebroadcast in the live section. And we always enjoy the replay crowd from our live shows. That's our biggest audience. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for continuing to follow the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. We don't just talk about Elvis or Bob Joyce. We talk about many topics, and we don't veil our comments. People who watch me know that I'm a conservative and that I will spout conservative views. I don't try to, dance around the topic. I tell you that November 5th, 2024 is the most important election of our lifetimes. And what I'm really worried about at this time is that, Some polling places will be washed out in various places. There's so many things that can happen. Even if President Trump were to win the election, I think that the the tricks and the manipulation will be there, and it will be like something we've never seen before. There's been so much uncharted territory especially since Joseph R. Biden became the president of the United States. It was so clear after that man got into office that we are in what the Bible calls the last days. And that means horrible things will happen, but Jesus will draw near. Jesus will have the final say. He will not be mocked. So there you go. Look forward to seeing you. Hit the notification bell so you know when we come on live. We'll have more live shows this week, as I happen to be talking to you, just before the Cat 5 hurricane that looks like it's going to hit the Tampa area of Florida, but it's going to be much more widespread than that. So we'll be here for you if you're in the danger zone in Florida. My strong advice to you is to get out while there is still time. If you happen to be seeing this soon after I have recorded this video. My personal email is jackthefairguy, F-A-I-R, guy, 56, jackthefairguy at gmail.com. Forget the 56 part. jackthefairguy at gmail.com. My Cash App is lowercase media guy 56, media guy 56. Thank you for hitting the like button. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 views by Christmas 2024, if not more. Hit the notification bell. If you hit the thanks button, I'll be sure to thank you and appreciate that so much. Talk to you soon.